Cześć, jestem Juno, a to kolejny odcinek z serii Zagrajmy w Mass Effect Andromeda. Pierwsze co, pogadajmy sobie z Addison.
All right, what happened? To who? To whom? And your goddamn father.
Ona ewidentnie coś do niej ma,
Sorry, my face is tired
do
from
naszej
dealing
sery.
with everything. And right now I just want to know what happened with Alec.
No.
In the moment, it saved my life. But it seems my father meant for me to get the role, eventually.
It isn't hereditary. If we wanted an inbred monarchy, we could have left half our gene stock back home. Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
No, cóż, poniekąd jej się nie dziwię, ale przede wszystkim...
There must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk.
No ale bez przesady, aż tak, w ciemno.
They disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to
Czy
poetry.
to naprawdę aż takie
That's
było
how bad it-
zaskakujące, że
You don't
oni
trust
tak
him?
I
reagują?
trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it.
Ale
Goddamn
historia
poetry.
niestety lubi się powtarzać, więc o co chodzi, że ona tak z tym Alekiem?
You called my father Alec. No one does that.
A lot
No,
of us joined the initiative because of his vision. What he shared of it, anyway.
Were you friends, or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking.
no chyba nie.
Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a pathfinder until they've path-found something. Much like a colonial director without
No,
colonies.
to ma sens, ale o, w takim
How do
razie.
you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me.
Może to ją
Left a
boli.
perfectly adequate career as a chief officer. Provincial capital too. And here we are, idling.
No i nie interesuje mnie to, co ona tam ma więcej do
It's Pathfinder.
powodzenia.
Ryder, we're
Dobra,
starving here.
będzie się oczywiście swojego
Prove me
trzymała. Czyli tak, z nią mam już, patrzę, pogadane. Chciałabym z resztą tych osób zaznaczonych zagadać. Zaraz tam 20 metrów około. Biuro Cash. No dobra, ten był miły, więc ogromną ochotą pogadam z nim.
There you are. Hope the others haven't been giving you a hard time.
Jeszcze nie
There's a lot
zdążyli
that
tak
needs doing.
naprawdę.
At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
What sort
To,
of
no
problems have you seen on the
właśnie.
Nexus?
No chyba ich trochę dużo, ale...
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it
No,
up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots
w sumie
tried
to wszystko
and
już
to top it
wiemy.
all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
Któż to taki?
What happened to Jay and Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
A więcej o tym?
I thought
Czy
the
tak...
Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources or people.
Nie, no
so
to raczej takie
my
dość
team and I are
typowe.
repairing what we can. If we don't get materials
Dobra,
soon, things
a
will go
zobaczmy
downhill.
z innych pytań.
Fast.
O,
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
no to jest smutne.
No wonder your people have such a problem with
And it's not fair to blame it all on them either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed
Ach,
it.
no,
hoping that's all in
skomplikowane
the
to
past.
wszystko.
Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings.
To może nie warto
And people need
drążyć.
that more than most.
Więc zobaczmy... Co on tutaj robi
What kind of work do
dokładnie?
you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and
Ona.
built this place. I keep the station
Kurwa.
functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Dobra.
Nothing more for now.
Later.
Dobrze, teraz mamy tam kogoś i kogoś po drugiej stronie tego miejsca. Dobra, to najpierw tam, bo polecę za daleko i się wezmę, zapomnę, co może być dziwne. Oj,
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
no właśnie.
I thought I didn't measure up as Pathfinder.
Director Addison keeps her own counsel. I keep mine.
And when you disagree.
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To
Łaskawca.
that end, the scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the golden worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the
No,
nexus.
to ma sens, ale...
Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable, so
Mała
how
sprzeczność,
do I...
co?
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Serio?
I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
The way I see it, you need me. If I pull this off, maybe you'll look like the leader you pretend to be.
But first, you have to succeed at being the Pathfinder you pretend to be.
No, z tym też ma rację
Where's my
poniekąd.
ship?
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer.
Dobra, to
And
pewnie
when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
trzeba
was
będzie
wondering
to
about
wszystko
that.
zrobić, ale... O kurde. To może nam
Something
chyba
wrong.
utrudnić działanie, co?
Ryder, Casey and Sam node on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No. I'm fine.
Dobra. Czyli tak, więcej z nim raczej pogadam później. Czyli złą decyzję chyba podjęłam, bo chciałam jeszcze z resztą tutaj osób pogadać. Zaraz, no oni gdzieś tutaj muszą być w ogóle. Co to jest? Tutaj coś. Naukowcy. No, to sobie pobiegamy spokojnie i znajdziemy, no chociażby Kandrosa.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields
dobra, on
militia
jest
work. Nexus secure. Scattered
całkiem
regions.
okej, ale nie wiem, czy
Some
coś...
indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
Dobra, a ciekawe, czy on ma coś
You
ciekawego
talk
do
like you weren't part of the
powiedzenia.
leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others.
No to...
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Ciekawe ogólnie, co
What
jest
do you know about the enemies we've
Właśnie.
encountered? The Ket.
z wrogami.
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone
No i
studying
to
them.
też,
Why?
czyli chyba
What do they
niewiele
want?
wiedzą.
No one knows.
No
I
właśnie.
want them a long, long way from the
O
nexus.
samych Turianach
Are
może
the
coś
other
powie.
Turians managing okay?
So. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp.
Dobra.
But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
To chyba nie będę z nim
Bye, Kandros.
więcej tam
Booty calls.
gadać.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
A to co jest? Misje grup uderzeniowych? A
This
cóż
console
to?
reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please
Dobra, coś tu mamy do poczytania. A, dobra.
Speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
A, czyli można też jakieś zadanie tu wykonać, a to jest...
It's not right. It's not fair.
Co jej nie
What's
pasuje?
wrong?
Oh my, So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us.
Na
Maybe
coś
you could
konkretniej?
help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
No przede
What
wszystkim
exactly was he convicted of?
szczegóły.
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, that the dead man was his friend.
O, warto byłoby się czemuś takiemu chyba
There are
przyjrzeć.
witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Zobaczmy w takim razie.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
O, urocze, dobra. Teraz tak, zadanie w takim razie jest nam oznaczone na mapie. Pierwszy morderca. Od razu mnie zaciekawił, nie ma co. Wpuści nas łaskawie?
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, a murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanting to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Ej, nie myśl sobie, że jesteś jakiś taki ważny.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
Tak
For
po
good
prostu?
reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the cat, and I guess I panicked and fired. Witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Czyli no, przypadkiem.
Sounds like
Zwyczajnie.
an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
No to trochę kiepsko. Ale jak
Don't
wierzysz...
throw on the towel yet. I'll review the evidence. Maybe I can find something that'll help.
That would be
Bo
great.
to też takie
You're a
głupie.
Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
W sumie po cholerę miałby od razu od tak sobie kogoś no zabić. Właśnie raczej nawet motywu tu nikt nie wskazał. Więc zobaczmy.
That's the console for our strike teams.
Oj.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
No niech będzie.
I'll deploy your people carefully, Kandros.
Appreciate that, Ryder. But trust me, Apex can handle themselves. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
No i dobrze, tylko przejrzyj dostępne misje grup uderzeniowych, czyli że to... czyli na przykład odzyskać mogę zaopatrzenie, zlikwiduj niebezpieczne materiały. Grupy uderzeniowe mogą być wysłane na misję. Czyli tak to jakoś idzie. Okej. Tak. I co? Mogę na przykład wybrać to. W ten sposób chcesz rozegrać w trybie online? Ale dziwaczne to jakieś jednak. Zaraz, ale to mogę wysłać też grupę, w sensie w ten sposób jakoś? A czyli, że nie online? Modyfikatory. Aha. A powiedzmy, jak zrobię jakoś, nie wiem, tu. Już nie mogę, bo jakaś aktualnie trwa, czy jak? Własna gra. Nie chcę znajomych opuścić tryb online. No tak. Okej. I co, nie będę mogła przez to dalej tej misji kontynuować, czy co? Bo w sumie dziwne to jakieś. Dobra, czyli jestem tutaj i teraz powiedzmy, że z nim sobie pogadam jeszcze raz.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
O właśnie, wreszcie to, o co mi
I
chodziło.
spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
Tak po prostu.
So there was a trial and he was found guilty.
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
Czekajcie chwilę. No dobra, już jestem. Może wreszcie dane nam będzie ten odcinek jakoś tak dokończyć, nieciechany. No i
And you assume
tak
he's
po
lying.
prostu?
What's a lie to a murderer?
No,
Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
no dobra. A
Bye,
ja
Kandros. Duty calls.
myślę, że przypatrzę to wszystko, co on powiedział. Czyli teraz tak, przesłuchać mogę nagranie i ze świadkiem pogadać. No to najpierw może o właśnie nagrania.
Nexus versus colonist Nilken, evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to...
No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Bo ja wiem, czy to brzmi aż tak jak jakoś... no nie wiem, jakby na pewno go tak zabił. Dobra, gdzie ona siedzi z kolei? Na górze, no dobra. Czyli nie zwlekając jeszcze wyżej. Okej. No, żebym się tutaj tylko nie pogubiła. Na razie to jakoś w miarę wygląda klarownie, ale jest i Cassidy.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Sarah Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
No właśnie.
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
A no właśnie.
Did you see any Ket in the vicinity?
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
No i właśnie.
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
Ale to wszystko brzmi jakoś dziwnie, ale dobra.
I appreciate the
Ciekawe, co
information.
każą nam dalej zrobić, bo w sumie ja nie mam
It
pomysłu.
kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder
No i
investigation.
coraz ciekawiej.
Can wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
No to znowu tym razem do Tana mamy ruszyć. Zaraz. Pierwszy morderca, porozmawiaj z Tanem. A to jest... Zaraz. Tu, no dobra, trochę się kręcę dziwacznie, ale już mam trochę mniej więcej miejsca zapamiętane, gdzie co jest. On jest dziwny.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well.
Dobra, ale...
I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
Pewnie nie wie.
Nothing certain.
A jak nie wie, to niech nie pierdzieli. A no tak.
I'm looking into the Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to EOS and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
Settling an outpost comes first. But I suppose I have no objections. Physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case.
A to
I hope
podejrzane.
anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder
Nie podoba
scene.
mi się jego podejście, ale dobra. O tym pewnie nic nie wie.
As
On
director
może
of the
sam.
initiative, are you in charge around here, or what?
If the others would allow me,
Aha,
they don't see me as the rightful successor.
czyli co, nie przypadają za nim? Jakoś się im nie dziwię.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic.
No,
I was deputy assistant for revenue
dość
management. Then all 7 leaders
tradycyjnie.
above me died. I was next in line for the role.
O, nie mam jakoś
That's all.
więcej do
Thanks
niego
for your
pytań.
time.
Of course, as you pointed out, we need each other. Our
Dość oczywiste. I teraz tak. Dowody morderstwa. Mamy tego inżyniera w opałach jeszcze. To jest zaraz. Co to jest? Zaraz. Czy ja dobrze widziałam, że tutaj mamy. Kogoś nie. Addison to nie. Te dowody to dopiero na planecie będzie można na pewno znaleźć. W takim razie to nawet mi się nie wyświetla jakoś porządnie. A to jest... A, jeszcze z naukowcami chciałam pogadać. No więc właśnie, żeby tak nic nie wypadło nam z głowy. A sprawa tego inżyniera, jeszcze tam mignęło mi jakieś zadanie i nie ogarnęłam. Dobrze, zagadajmy z tym.
You must be the Pathfinder. Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
No właśnie.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop. Or lab. You know.
You are always welcome.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14
Czyli pewnie
months.
coś trzeba będzie
But your
zdobyć.
data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
Potrafię to sobie wyobrazić.
Pathfinder, we've had some trouble.
Jakie
Anything I
konkretniej?
can help with?
Perhaps. I discharged an away team to get readings from a section of the Scourge that was behaving anomalously. They haven't reported in for some time, and sensors can't...
Czyli
Sent
pewnie
them out
trzeba
there.
też będzie to
Good,
zbadać.
dedicated people. I fear what might have happened to them.
Your work is important. Don't lose sight of that.
Dokładnie. Nie
When I'm
można
out there, I'll see if I can find
błądzić
them.
gdzieś myślami. Ja się
Friends
tym
and
zajmę.
family will want to know what's happened, and I need to know.
No i zrozumiałe. Dobra, zaginiony statek. Dużo nam się, patrzę, tych misji robi. Zaraz mapa, dziennik. Zadania tutaj, pieniężską pomoc, zadania dodatkowe, ale to jest raczej misje kluczowe, umiejętności, gra. Nie no, to są priorytetowe. Wróć, zadania dodatkowe. To bym chciała jakoś no, włączyć, rozpocząć. Tylko że tutaj chyba, tak mi się przynajmniej wydaje, że już generalnie wszystko, no, obeszłam. Co, z Korą jeszcze mogę zagadać?
Hey there. You okay? And Addison, first Pathfinder they've seen in over a year. All she can do is question your competence?
No, właśnie.
Yeah, meeting Addison was interesting.
She doesn't know you.
I appreciate it.
I worked out logistics with Director Tan. They're giving us a ship and crew. He said their best is taking care of it.
No, dobrze.
Still need to head
Chociaż
back to the
tyle.
Ark and check in with Sam.
Sounds good. While you're there, maybe see how your brother's doing.
No, nie zapominajmy o rodzinie. Czyli rozumiem, tu będzie pokład mieszkalny, a zapisać gry jeszcze nie mogę. No to użyjmy konsoli w takim razie. Ona pewnie nas jakoś łaskawie przyniesie. Oby. To by był wreszcie zapis, bo nie lubię miejsc, w których właśnie nie mogę zapisać. O, jest. Więc dzięki za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, cześć.